Hi, I'm Scott.
And I'm Elsa.
And we're going to give you the travel guide to skiing in Bend, Oregon.
The video starts now.
It does. Hi, I'm Scott.
And I'm Elsa. Welcome to Meaningful Travel.
Now I'm really excited because this video is all about a town I've been living in for the last 10 years, so I know all the insider information. It is, of course, Bend, Oregon. Now it's only a town of about 100,000 people, but it is the hub of Central Oregon, which means, of course, good food, great entertainment, and awesome beer, and like 285 to 300 days of sunshine a year.
Bend is known for its outdoor recreation and natural beauty. The mountains around Bend get about 30 feet of snow per year, which means there's so much to do in the winter. There's cross-country skiing, downhill skiing, snowboarding, snowmobiling, snowshoeing, and you can even go ice skating at the pavilion downtown. I grew up in a small town. I love the feel of downtown Bend. There are cute shops, so many great places to eat, those craft beverages, and downtown Bend is just beautiful. There's trees all around Bend, and you'll also see deer here and there.
Well, of course, this video is all about the skiing, so let's get to it. We are headed for Mount Bachelor, one of the crown jewels of the Pacific Northwest ski scene. What are your thoughts?
I'm excited to ski after 3 years. Scott brought his ski gear from home, but I don't currently own ski equipment, so I decided to rent. The week before we went to Mount Bachelor, I went online, I answered the questions, filled out the forms, and got a QR code. When we got to the rental shop, all I had to do was show the QR code, go up on the stage-like platform for boot fitting, which took only about 2 minutes, and then head over and get my skis, poles, and helmet, and I was ready to hit the slopes.
But wait, we of course had a bunch of gear with us, so we thought, well, maybe we should get a locker. It was 20 bucks for a locker, but it was a large locker, and they do take credit cards and debit cards, which helps a lot, and of course, it does give you some peace of mind so you don't have to go back to your car midday. Ready to kick some bootay.
I am.
All right. Mount Bachelor has about 4,300 acres of accessible terrain, and it lies in the rain shadow of the Cascades, so it's a much drier snow than most of the ski areas in the Northwest, and bluebird days are fairly common. Whoa. Having fun?
I am having fun. Mount Bachelor is the 6th largest ski area in the United States, and it has one of the longest ski seasons in the country. Quite often it's open from Thanksgiving all the way through Memorial Day. We were there on such a beautiful day. We went on a Friday, which was probably a good thing because there weren't as many people on the chairlifts and there weren't as many people on the slopes. It was wonderful to have a run to ourselves.
And while the food selection was okay, they did at least have a lot of our favorites.
Including nachos and IPA, of course.
These were pulled pork nachos piled high, and of course, Bend is kind of known as Craft Beer City USA, so of course the selection of hop beverages was pretty darn impressive.
It was a really nice place to take a break during the dog days of winter. After so many years away, I was in heaven, and the views cannot be beat. Mount Bachelor is a higher-end destination. You'll have high-speed chairlifts and you'll have great services, but you'll also pay more for your lift ticket. Sadly, unless you have an RV, you won't be sleeping up at the mountain, so we do recommend that you make lodging reservations either at Bend or Sun River.
So to sum up, let's talk about what was great and what was not so great. First great, of course, the snow. This is some of the driest snow you'll find in the entire Pacific Northwest. Number 2, the beauty. 360-degree views of volcanic peaks. They surround you all day long. And of course, number 3, its proximity to my town.
As far as not so great, 2 things. First of all, the prices. The lift ticket was more than $100, and then as far as rentals, which I rented, that's something you're going to want to budget, and then also those $20 lockers. The second thing is lodging. Unless you have an RV, you're not going to be staying up at the mountain. So fortunately, Bend is not that far away. Just plan that you're going to stay there.
We're headed through the town of Sisters to the Hoodoo ski area to get us some coveted night skiing.
The rental process at Mount Bachelor blew me away. So efficient, up-to-date technology. So when we got to Hoodoo, it reminded me of renting equipment back in the day. Nothing wrong with that. I did my paperwork, I got my boots, I got my skis and poles. There are no helmets. You cannot rent a helmet. Funny story, when I was handed my skis, I thought they looked a little short for me, and so I commented to the employee. He reminded me that it was no longer the 1980s and I would be fine. I was fine. It's more about how they perform than how they look.
Now, Hoodoo is about an hour outside of Bend, and the snow's not quite as dry as Mount Bachelor, but the views are equally as stunning.
I predict excellent snow and beautiful scenery.
And a really hot guy.
It's absolutely hot. Throughout the day, we had the opportunity to ride the chairlift with locals who gave us great advice on where and when to ski on the mountain, and also what to eat when we took a break.
Woof, 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 woof. One of the best tips we got though was to get the chair to the top of the mountain right before it closes, so we got a 360-degree view of the sunset right before heading to the lodge to get a little bite to eat. And what better way to carb a load for those precious night runs than to head down to the lounge for
nachos and pints, of course.
Yeah, another plate of pulled pork nachos, a few bucks cheaper than Mount Bachelor and like 50% larger. This was a treat.
Being in the bar at Hoodoo reminded me of my college days in Boulder. It was a relaxed, laid-back feel, and it was fun to see the lift operators gathered around a long table for a beer at the end of the day.
But of course, the main reason we came here was for the night skiing, and Elsa took the opportunity to wax poetic. What's your prediction?
Dark, with spots of light.
Oh, I like it.
If you haven't tried night skiing, I recommend you try it. It can feel magical. Fewer people on the lifts, fewer people on the slopes, and there's just this level of intimacy with the mountain.
And believe it or not, on this evening, the snow actually got better as things got colder. And that's one thing to keep in mind with night skiing, is sometimes the weather can be your best friend or your biggest challenge, because sometimes the wind can really howl and the ice can be a little gnarly. So to sum up, let's talk again about what was great and what was not so great. First thing, the vibe. Hoodoo is very much a local style hill. It's very relaxed. You're gonna have a great time. Number two, the beauty. Bachelor had great views, but so does Hoodoo. There are 360 degrees of volcanic peaks all the way around you. And finally, the entertainment. Believe it or not, they have live music every Friday night, so you can get your ski on and you can get your party on.
What was not so great is two things. First of all, parking. Hoodoo just is a smaller ski area and there isn't such a large parking lot. You may find yourself parking as much as half a mile away and then packing your ski stuff in. The second one is helmets. People are used to wearing helmets, but Hoodoo does not rent them. If you want a helmet, you're going to either need to bring it or you're going to need to buy it in the shop. Otherwise, you're going without. We're looking for our next travel destination. Help us out by leaving a comment with your recommendations. Also, give us a thumbs up. We'd love it if you'd subscribe. And of course, the best thing you can do to help us out is to share this video with your friends. And speaking of videos, right about now, there should be some other videos showing up that'll help you deep dive into more meaningful travel. We're looking for our next travel destination. Help us out by leaving a comment with your recommendations.
Also, give us a thumbs up. We'd love it if you'd subscribe. And of course, the best thing you can do to help us out is to share this video with your friends. And speaking of videos, right about now, there should be some other videos showing up that'll help you deep dive into more meaningful travel.